We are going to California. Chad, my man.
Yes, as Randy just shared, appreciate your time here, John. The book has been very neat to dive in and learn a lot from. I think as many on this call have. Also pretty cool to see you're connected to a couple of my colleagues out here, Eric Huberman, Mike Brown, and Austin Watts. But my question being, for many of us that are, client facing, curious to know, as we keep our ears to the street, or I should say company facing, ears to the street, do you have a specific type of industry or size of company that you guys work well with and fit well with, so that I can, like Eric is doing, which awesome, Eric, I can be able to have a conversation with a prospect or with a client like, hey, help me better understand this conversation, this process. How do you guys approach this? Hey, by the way, I would like to introduce you to John and his team, because I think they have some value to add to enhance your customer, your vendor experience. Do you guys have a target, audience that you guys are looking to partner with?
Not industry. What I would say is the leader has to be a giver, where the leader has to be somebody who thinks very creatively about relationship building. So, I mean, we have clients that do 2 million in revenue. We have clients that do 2 billion in revenue. What's common amongst those two is that the leader says, instead of just hiring an extra 2 employees for 100 grand, we're going to invest 100 grand in these relationships. Or it doesn't always have to be 100 grand. It could be 25 grand. But if somebody, if somebody has like 2 people to appreciate, they're probably not a fit for us. But if somebody has at least, even like authors and solopreneurs have a top 20, that they want to invest, $1,000 a year into, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. But I would say our sweet spot is that, call it $5-10 million to a few $100 million in revenue. That's private, tend to be privately owned, tend to be B2B. So there's margin. They're longer term relationships, whether it's with their employees, their suppliers, their partners, their investors, their mentors, their, centers of influence, where they're already doing things at a world-class level on the experiential side. They're doing trips to Mexico. They're doing African safaris. They're already investing in their people internally or externally at a high level. But they haven't figured out how to scale the thoughtfulness on the physical level. So I would say, look for people that are already doing amazing trips, amazing dinners, sponsorships, whatever else. Industry doesn't matter. It could be technology, could be financial services. Like we just spoke for Lincoln Financial, which is a Fortune 500 company. Highly regulated doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, like I can talk about the power of a handwritten note or the thoughtfulness of something small but done the right way, all the way to, you want to drop 20 grand on a relationship? Great, we can do that too. But a lot of it is the strategy in laying out the, from a consulting perspective, and then also helping them execute. So I love the question. It's a super giver question. I think one of the most powerful things is for people to be exposed to the VIP version of our book. I know Eric sends out a lot of them. It's like a $100 version of our book. When somebody gets that, they realize everything that they thought about relationship building and showing up in uncommon ways just got blown out the door when they see the physical in a leather bag, in a linen box. When we send out the giftology book the way that we do it, Amazon won't let us do it. But getting that in their hands starts to open their mind a little bit to, oh, maybe I don't understand relationship building and showing up in uncommon ways as much as I thought I did. So I appreciate the question, Chad. By the way, the Pelican, where you took the picture from, is a great, I've been there before. Beautiful scenery and view there. You got a world-class resort there in your backyard.
Yes, I live in Orange County, and we're definitely spoiled a little bit out here. And I was actually with a colleague of mine who's a publisher, a pretty big publisher, and she's been publishing books for investors. And so I had the book, and we were talking about it. I was like, hey, do you know John? She's like, yeah, I've read the book, and I'm all for it. And so, we got the juices flowing, and I was like, I'm on a call with him tomorrow, so I'll make sure to keep an ear, or put a word out as far as how do we help to add value to our clientele base, our customers, through this obviously important conversation. So appreciate it.
Thanks, Chad.